If you're interested in Middle Eastern Oriental dance, you may have come across the term mejence, or you may have actually seen it while watching Middle Eastern dance on the internet. So what is a mejence? That is the topic of this video. Hi, I'm Kashmir, and this time the word mejence is not Arabic. It's sort of, perhaps in a way, French, and it just means a dancer's entrance. In a mejence, a dancer introduces herself to her audience. Now, the traditional ones were quite long. How long? Well, I did come across one that was 45 minutes, though I do think that is probably at the far end of the range. Most of them are a wee bit shorter than that. These days, you probably only get about 5 minutes. Now, if you're a big name with a big wallet, you would actually get a composer to compose your own entrance piece, your own mejence. And your orchestra would play it, and you'd have a singer who would go sort of, here comes, insert your name here, insert your name here as the most wonderful dancer, etc, etc, etc. If you're a lesser mortal, then there are actually standard mejences that you can actually choose from. There's one I think called Nelly, which gets used quite a bit. The point with the mejence is it's not meant to be rushed. In fact, in the older ones, sometimes there'll be a long musical introduction without the dancer. We're talking minutes, 5-10 minutes. If you're watching stuff on the internet, usually somebody has cut that bit off. But if you're watching it live, there'll be a long instrumental piece, and then the dancer would appear. And the dancer might come down on a cherry picker. She might be supported by slave boys, or she might just walk around the stage quite slowly, interacting with the audience perhaps, or she might dance on. It just depends on the mood of the dancer and who she is. So different people try different things. In Egyptian dance, a veil entrance is reasonably unusual. If you do see one, it's usually just sort of held out behind, swishing around a little bit, discarded. There may be a little bit of air work. You certainly won't see the vintage American style where you sort of wrap and then expose. That's just not seen at all. So there may be veil, especially if it's a foreign dancer, but on the whole, there isn't. When the dancer starts dancing, she doesn't throw in everything in the kitchen sink. It starts slow. It's meant to build, but still show what she's capable of. So that's why the longer pieces were quite good, and that you got a good introduction of what was going to be in the show. Because this is the first item. The dancer's got another couple of hours to go after this. So this is not the whole thing. This is just sort of an introduction. So it should show a little bit. The music tends to be quite complex. Not only different tempos, but different styles. So you might start with a little bit of Oriental, and then you might go into a ballady. There may be a bit of folk, maybe Saidi, maybe Khaliji, and the dancer would actually nod to these styles. She wouldn't do a full-out folk piece, but you know, if there was a Khaliji, there may be a little bit of hair. If there was a Saidi, there may be a little bit of a rock, just to show that she knows what's going on. She might do a full folk piece later on. These days, with a lot of foreign tourists and foreign dancers in Egypt, the mejences tend to be a lot shorter and a lot faster. That said, their purpose is exactly the same, to introduce the dancer to the audience. I hope that helped.